Hi y'all, we are back with another Trader Joe's grocery haul. I'm gonna walk you through what I already had and what I got at Trader Joe's and also what I still need because Trader Joe's, if you don't know anything about Trader Joe's in New York City, let me just tell you, it is always, no matter what the location is, it is always chaotic. Some are wild and I just don't step foot into them. I'm looking at you, Union Square. Others are, you just prepare for violence. I'm looking at you, 72nd Street, 96th Street. 96th Street particularly, it's very small and it's like, little old Ladyville, and they got sharp elbows. They really do. So today, I was working out of a cafe. I figured, okay, let me go up to the 96th Street one, and I just decided not to. I was like, let me protect my peace. Let me go to the Harlem one. But then it looked like it was about to rain. So I thought, okay, I was recalculating which one is closest to a train. Even if it takes me an extra 20 minutes or so, I'll get in and out of the train without too much walking. The Harlem Trader Joe's, there would be a little bit of walking involved for me in comparison to where I was and home. Cool. So I decided to go to Spring Street. It's a little bit above Tribeca. Anyway, it's kind of out of the way. It's where it's like a wealthy neighborhood. It's off the beaten path a little bit, but truly like on top of the train station almost. And so I thought Sunday late afternoon, maybe it'll be fine. It wasn't. That's all I'll have to say about that. So I mention that because I realized well after I left, as I'm opening my backpack, that I forgot a few things, even though I walked in with a list of my meal plan. I walked in there and it was just chaos, confusion, a little bit of cutthroat behavior, and you just couldn't get in and out of the aisles fast enough. I needed to leave for my personal mental health and well-being. So this is why I prefer the Harlem one. It's a little bit wider, and folks tend to be a little bit more calm unless I own the space and you don't. Many of you will understand what I mean. Some of you will not, and that's fine. That's fine. It's just not a message for you, and that's okay. Okay, so let's talk about what I already have, right? The reason why I'm bringing this up, the reason why I took half of these things out of my pantry or out of my refrigerator, is my whole point in making these is to show that yes, obviously you need to be bringing food into your home. You're consuming them, but you should always start with what you already have. Right? And so that's what I want to highlight here. I started with what I already have. I surveyed what I wanted to use, what I needed to use up, and I made a meal plan from there. So again, I'll go through what I already had, and then I'll explain to you my meal plan, what I needed, and then what I picked up at Trader Joe's. So I got this yesterday, so technically I already had it, but I do want to highlight it because I'm a coffee person, and I want to speak more about coffee on this channel. It's something that brings me a lot of joy, and it can very well be a part of your dieting journey, right? I mean, as a side note, and this should not be a reason to drink coffee or not, but it's a fun beverage. It does help a little bit as far as mood, especially if you're dieting and you're like, it's something fun to do and have. It also has a little bit of fiber. I mean, nothing to write home about, but it has a lot of polyphenols and other good compounds that are great for you. And especially if you're not throwing a bunch of sugar and cream and all sorts of stuff in it, it is a extremely low calorie beverage, but also gives you some energy. I'm not saying to abuse it. I'm not saying if you are someone who kind of has nervous system issues or high blood pressure, like I'm just saying I like it. It's a great beverage and it's not hurting nobody. Okay. So in any case, I went to a coffee shop in Brooklyn with a couple of new friends that I made, and I went to Devotion. Devotion is in downtown Brooklyn, or the location I went to is in downtown Brooklyn, but they kind of sell their beans around. It's a great specialty coffee place to go. So this is the one that I got. I got the decaf. I was actually looking for their half calf. I couldn't see it on the shelves. All of their bags kind of look like this or gray. So I was like, and the font you can see is just so tiny, and you know, I didn't want to be that person with new friends. So I was just like, let me just get the decaf. I need a decaf anyway. And no one else cares about coffee but me. So let me move on. Let me move on. That's what I will be drinking in the afternoons when I need an afternoon coffee fix. I don't like drinking caffeine into, you know, the rest of the day, anytime like within 8-12 hours of bedtime. It gets, for me, I'm one of those people who is caffeine sensitive. So I actually kind of want to keep it that way also. And I don't like the effects of when I'm drinking 3-4 cups a day, obviously, right? But I love the flavor. I love the beverage itself. I love learning about different regions, coffees, and things like that. So that's why I have it. That was a whole aside for no reason. This is going to be a long one. Sorry. So I have some zucchini. I actually still have a whole zucchini left from the farmer's market grocery haul that you would have seen. These went a really long way because I was making some curries and some stir fries and things like that. And so when you cut them up, it just really did go a long way. So I'm glad I still had some and I didn't have to buy any more or figure out some other thing. And you'll see also in there some jalapeno. So I will use that as well later on. So the tempeh, I have some tempeh left over that I already steamed. I just made the whole block of it when I was cooking it. I used some and I still have a bunch left over, so I'll be using tempeh. These are, well, let's stick with the fridge. I had one bell pepper left. This is another thing where you get a bell pepper and it's like 3 meals somehow, because you know you're putting a whole bunch of veg in and you're not using as much of each vegetable, so you have a bunch left over. That turned out to be a good thing for me. This is some broccoli that I still have left over. I had put this in the freezer, so there's plenty of that I still have. Oh, don't fall, don't do that. My coffee is like trying to escape. I still have, you'll remember this from a couple of weeks ago, or maybe even a month ago, these grilled vegetables. So I still have those and I intend to use them. I have some collard greens from way back. Also, they were in the freezer, so I still intend on using those. This is some tom yum paste, so you can see what I'm trying to do already. I have some green curry paste left over, and I also have a jar of red curry, a bit of foreshadowing here. There's some bell pepper, some red bell pepper still in here, half of an onion. I need another onion, but for some reason I was not feeling the onions at Trader Joe's. I know one onion is the same as the next, but the pricing just felt weird in comparison to my guy up the street who sells all sorts of produce on the street. This is some tofu. It doesn't look like it's air fried, but it is air fried. It's already prepared, so that I will be using. I also have another block of tofu still in my refrigerator. Actually, I think I have 2 or 3 because, as you know, I hoard them from Lidl and from Trader Joe's. And then I have some canned things. So a couple of these are hearts of palm spaghetti. I was feeling some pasta this week, and I again looked through my cabinets and I had some hearts of palm spaghetti. I usually would just use regular pasta, obviously. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with pasta, but I happen to have these and I was like, well, why not? This is what I have. This is what I have. So we're going with it. I have 3 of those. Supposedly there's 2 servings per container, but we'll see. You know how I feel about serving sizes. They be lying. I don't know. I also have some coconut milk. This was from a prior Trader Joe's run. Some organic tomatoes, diced, no salt added, vine ripened tomatoes. So this is also what I already had. So with all of these that I had, this is the plan that I came up with. Where did that little post-it go? Okay. So, oh, and I also have some oats in my cupboard, and you can see there's some protein powder still left, and I also have behind this PB2, I don't know if you're zooming in, but behind this PB2, there's also some pea protein powder as well. So, I'm going to have some protein oats for breakfast, and I also have some chocolate chips. So it'll be like a vanilla base with some chocolate chips in there, and so that's what my breakfast is going to be, along with some coffee, not decaf. In the morning is for regular coffee. Okay. For lunch, I'm going to have pasta. So that's where these guys come in. I didn't know how far I can stretch these couple of cans, so I also got some more pasta. That'll be the base. Pasta will be the base of my pasta meal, and along with the tomato sauce, the collard greens, and these mixed vegetables, these Mediterranean vegetables. Not sure if collards really go with pasta, but it's a green, and you know, I mean, I'll figure it out. I'll have it Monday and see how it is all together. And then if it's a little kind of weird to me, then I'll just have it on the side, like as a steamed veg or steamed green on the side. But you got to get your greens in. You got to get your greens in, right? And collard is a fantastic green. It is full of nutrients. It's actually a pretty good source of calcium as well, and a bunch of other things, whatever, eat the rainbow, etc. Okay, speaking of eating the rainbow, for dinner, I'm going to have my Thai curries. I am in a moment of making curries. I don't make the paste. I, just kind of buy them. There's the Lidl always has it, or many different versions. They have Penang curry. They have the tom yum. The tom yum paste, which is lovely, and then this green curry paste and the red one that I have. So that's where a lot of these other vegetables will come in. I intend to use the broccoli, the peppers, the onions. I need to find another onion. And then I also have bought some vegetables from Trader Joe's to bulk up those meals. Oh, and then also the zucchini, right, to get rid of the rest of them. Before I get into that, I want to mention that I spent less than $35. I spent $32.07 for all of these items that I'm about to mention to you. So, I mean, I definitely could have spent less for sure. And if I'm really looking at it now, I'm really honest here, I probably had enough to go into next week. But I really wanted to up the veg. I really wanted to have kind of fresh veg in my Thai curries. And then I also went into Trader Joe's for protein, and I did, because I think I have maybe 2 servings of that left, and I did forget it because I was making a beeline to the exit. And like I said, I didn't realize that I didn't have that, or I think it was onions was another thing, although I was waffling about that and I decided not to. I mean, but in any case, I really did have enough, honestly, if I was really being budget conscious. So that's why I always say, like, don't just go to the grocery store to go to the grocery store because that's just what you do. Take stock of what you have and then try to work your way through that as much as you can. I'm not saying to not buy what you want, but I'm saying go with what you need first, go with what you have first, and then go from there. All right, so we are into the Trader Joe's grocery haul. I got some mushrooms. Did I need two? Not really. But I was wondering how far the one would take me if I was planning on having curries all week long. And then I realized, wait, I have a million other vegetables and they don't all need to have mushrooms. But be it as it may, I don't know, I may just freeze one of them, right? This was me being a little not mathing correctly. I also did get pasta. So I got this red lentil pasta. I have honestly never tried this pasta. I usually go for Bonza. I used to get bulk orders from Amazon. I guess Whole Foods would be the other place that I would go that had it for a reasonable price. So, you know, I'm not doing that at the moment. So I figured, you know what, let me try this. It's $2.99. Why not? They have another one there that is made out of chickpeas. But you know, I've had plenty of chickpea pasta and I figured let's try something different, right? So this one is the red lentil pasta. The macros are fine. You know, it has 15 grams of protein per serving and there's 6 servings in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the hearts of palm first as the base of my meals. And then once these run out, then I'll get into the red lentil pasta. I'm not going to preemptively cook this because that means I'll start with that and then it'll be another week that these are sitting in my cupboard for no reason, right? I also got more bell peppers. I'll be honest with you, I didn't see this until I was taking everything out just now. But again, bell peppers are something that, well, one, I'm glad I have different colors now. Two, you can cut them up and put them in the fridge. They last forever, or you can freeze them. They'll last forever, or at least for a long time, right? So again, this is another example of how I'll start off with the ones that I already have. Once these are out, which will be like, you know, maybe 1 or 2, and I may add this to pastas, right, just to kind of get rid of it more, then I will get into these. All right, starting to have a space issue here. We'll figure it out. Green beans. I have not had green beans in a long time and I'm not comfortable with that. I love green beans. They are one of my favorite vegetables, although I say that about all the vegetables I eat. That's neither here nor there. More coconut milk. Listen. It is a Thai curry moment in this household, right? Thai coconut curries. So I know that it's going to be a kick, right? The same way that overnight oats was a huge kick until a couple of months ago, and now I'm trying to get back into the overnight oats. What else was a huge kick for me? That salad that I was making with the pickle dip or whatever. I was making that. I made that for 4 weeks straight. Okay, so and I like had that pretty much every day with the kale and the coleslaw mix. So I get into kicks, I get into ruts, and what can I say? So that's what this is for. I got 2 of them. They were, I think, $3 altogether. And again, this is something that it's going to last forever. If I don't use it now, I will very shortly use it. But I wanted to make sure that I wasn't running out. Another thing I want to say, I got the reduced fat version. I know damn well, I see you typing, stop, reflect a little bit with me. I understand that you can just get the regular one and put water in it, but this was cheaper. So, I mean, actually, well, if you think about it, you know, you would probably get more, you would get more volume out of whatever. It was less dollars out of my pocket at the moment. Also, I find that this works really well if you're making it very like a soup, right? As I do with the tom yum, so you don't have to like cut it with as much broth or something else, so that can reduce a lot of the sodium as well, and it reduces it in a way that doesn't just make it watery. So this is useful. I'm having it, I'm using it, that's what we're doing. Don't get at me. I know the full fat is absolutely fine, okay? So for the pasta, where did the tomato paste go? So I already had this, right? So I'm going to use these 2 things together. Again, Again, I understand that it's pizza sauce and that it's not pasta sauce, but it's all the same things, except I think they put a little bit of sugar in it, but like they do that for regular pasta sauce too. And I'm too lazy to make my own at the moment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it with this, and then I'll get, I don't know how many servings. It'll be a lot. It'll be a lot, right? What I'm gonna do actually is I'm going to make the sauce, which will have these beefy crumbles in them, right? I'm gonna make the sauce separately, and then I'm going to, just open up these cans, rinse them. I think I should probably rinse them with boiling water, maybe. I'm not sure what the recommendation here is on the can. There's lots of words and I'm not trying to find it right now. But I'll do that and then put the greens in, and then kind of put the meat sauce on top of it. And then that'll be a very simple lunch. What I like to do with my lunches is make it just simple components that are easy to transport, easy to assemble, doesn't require too much fuss, because I don't like being in my work pantry like, oh, I need this part, I need that part, I gotta put this on, and I don't want to mess around with stuff. I literally want to leave my office, put the things out of the refrigerator, put it into the microwave, take it out of the microwave, and then run away. And the last two things I got were milks, I guess. So this, I've been on a kick of using this coconut and almond creamer. I fell into it because I think, I can't remember, but I think the last time I was there, they did not have the regular one. Or for me, the regular one, the one with, I think it's brown sugar cinnamon or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but they were out of that other creamer, and I thought, okay, let me try it. I have in the past tried coconut creamer, and I was not a fan at all. I don't know if it was their brand or another brand. I was just not into it. But I thought, okay, maybe this is safe. It's an OG. I've always seen it there. And it's coconut and almond, right? And it's vanilla flavored. So I thought, okay, maybe the coconut flavor will be a little bit muted. I'm not someone who likes coconut in coffee. I know that's a thing. It's not my thing. Or is it? Because I started with this, and this is my second time buying it. Maybe I'm converted, I don't know, but it's very mild. I find that the coconut flavor is very mild. Also, I don't use much of it. I really don't. So, maybe there's that. Maybe I'll try more. Maybe I'll try to make it like more coconutty flavor, or use a little bit of this in there just to see if I have been truly converted or not. We'll find out. And then I also have this guy right here, the tried and true non-dairy almond beverage, original unsweetened. It's great for smoothies. It's great for overnight oats, which is what I'll use it for. It's funny, I used to be strictly a soy milk person. Maybe not strictly, but I'm not too much a fan of almond milk just by itself. If I wanted to drink water, I would drink water. But in things, it's very useful because it has like 30 calories per serving. And it's neutral. It doesn't do too much, like it doesn't change the flavor of what you're eating too much. So I do like to use these for the protein smoothies, and then also my overnight oats is pretty much exclusively what I use it for, unless if I'm making like a cheesy sauce or something like that. So there's that. That's it. That's all I had. That's all I have today. So, if I was so inclined, I would go over there and grab you my other coffee, but tell me if you are a coffee person. Would you like to see me rant and rave about coffee? I have a recipe for a high protein affogato, which I really think I should share. It's a delicious dessert that you can have, especially if you're using decaf. You can have that you know, at the time of days that you would normally have a dessert kind of a thing and not be wired for the rest of the evening. So so I like doing it every once in a while. So maybe I'll show that if that's something that you're into. In any case, I am going to put a lot of these back in the freezer and refrigerator. I'm going to prep some of these things again so it's easy for me to come up and use what I need to when I need to cook. And I may show you that. You see these videos online where they show you the entire process and what is made out of all the things that they've shown you. So that might be the route that I go. It'll likely be a separate video because I don't know if you can see the time. Because I'm telling you, that Trader Joe's just takes it out of me. And honestly, BJ's is much better, but it's still kind of a battle to, you know, to carry all of the stuff back home and all of that. And I am not a cab person. I am one of those New Yorkers that is like, I will carry my couch onto the train in order to avoid taking a cab or car service. I need to get bougier in my lifestyle. You know what you should do at this point in the video. If you've liked what you've seen, if you like getting ideas for meals that are wholesome, that will help you reach your goals, may that be muscle gain, fat loss, or general health and longevity, this might be the place for you. And so click that like and subscribe button. Send me a comment. Tell me what you would make with some of this stuff. What's on your menu for this week? Let me know. And yeah, stick around. I also am really enjoying making more videos about things that I want to talk about, why these things are important to implement into your diet. I mean, not necessarily things like this, right? But vegetables, right? And making sure that there's loads of color on your plate. I think the main hack that most people need to understand is if you just eat more plants and more protein, there is so much of your health that will improve without even thinking about much else. And also obviously drinking more water, right? I mean, that kind of, it should go without saying, but it doesn't. So drink more water, eat more plants, eat more protein, preferably plant protein if you can. That's quite an outro. I bid you adieu. Bye.